So there's news that on the heels of rising support for Scottish independence, the Conservative Party is in a tizzy about how to deal with it. Boris Johnson has promised to visit the country in a promotion of the Union tour, but considering how popular he and his Conservative Party are north of the English border, it may actually do more damage to the government's standing there. So Tory MPs are looking instead to replicate the success of the influential Brexiteer group called the ERG by setting up a similar body to promote the union. About 30 MPs are said to have formed a body called the Tories Union Research Group, CURG, which wants to maintain the future of the UK front and centre in regards to policy in both the UK government and discussions taking place in both Houses of Parliament. The unionist URG is currently seeking official recognition as a parliamentary body and hopes to play a leading role in the Conservative Party. Its leader will be Aberconwy MP Robin Miller. The group will act on similar lines to those of the European Research Group, which was formerly led by our old friend Jacob Rees-Mogg. Remember, those guys successfully forced Theresa May when she was PM out of office because she repeatedly failed to get her Brexit deal through the House of Commons, and they really punched above their weight there. Their positions, as you may remember, were hypocritical, but that's not really important. As support for Scottish independence hovers around 54%, the creation of the CURG may be pivotal. Just last week, Prime Minister Boris Johnson hailed the union and the cooperation between the four nations during the COVID-19 pandemic, ignoring the fact that Scotland, for example, dealt with the pandemic in both politically and scientifically a much better way. Boris, of course, has stressed many times that he feels that there are more similarities than differences between the nations when it comes to their responses to the pandemic and the measures to deal with it. Boris is now expected to head to Scotland in a campaign to, quote-unquote, save the union. Some cabinet sources have said that Michael Gove is in panic mode over the State of the Union, while Boris Johnson is in irritated mode instead. A Tory spokesman rejected any prospect of Scotland leaving the Union. He insisted that the 2014 referendum was a once-in-a-generation opportunity. He went on to say, the UK government will continue to uphold the decisive verdict from the referendum. That referendum was 6 years ago. I've said before that many people who would have liked to have voted in the referendum were too young at the time, and many people who did vote in the referendum are no longer with us. The people of Scotland must be given the choice to vote for independence, and that vote must be respected. If, later down the road after independence, the Scottish people change their mind and would prefer to rejoin the Union, that option should also be open to them as well. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. Why not become a Patreon and enjoy access to our Discord server where we share news, chat, and have some fun? If you become a patron, you can also make video suggestions on topics that are important to you. Check it out via the link in the description.